Hi guys and girls, today we're looking at working out the area of a circle. So what I'm going to do today is take you through the procedure for working out the area of a circle, and we're going to do a few examples, and then I'll give you a little bit of an intuition as to why it works. Okay, but first of all, working out the area of a circle. To work out the area of a circle, you will need the area of a circle formula, which is pi r squared, or pi times the radius squared, equals the area. Okay, so the radius of the circle is halfway from the center to the edge, or halfway across the circle. So from the middle of the circle to the very edge of the circle. Okay, and for this one, our radius is 10. So what I'm going to do is write down the formula first. Pi r squared equals area. Equals area. And then I'm going to substitute into that formula, so pi stays the same because here's a number. R squared is 10 because the radius is 10, so that goes where my radius goes, and then I take that 10 and square it, which will give me my area. Okay, now this is a place where people make mistakes. Squared means times by itself. So pi times 10 times 10 will give us our area. Okay, so 10 times 10 is 100. Pi times 100 is 314.15. Okay, now that's just 2 decimal places. Of course, pi would go on forever and ever and ever. Or if you want to be super duper accurate, you can also write 100 pi. And that's a number as well. Okay. For our next example, they've complicated the job by giving you the length of the line. That's the whole way down the circle. Okay, they've given you the entirety of that line there. And you just want the radius, which is from the center out, or half of it. So to find that radius, what we do is we take the diameter, that's the 200, that's the length of the line down, and we divide it by 2. So the radius will equal 200 divided by 2, which equals 100. Okay, then we just do the same thing, write our formula. Pi r squared equals our area. Then we substitute in, so pi times 100 times 100 equals our area. So that's 10,000 times pi, which is 31415. Sorry, 10,000. 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places. Point, and that's the decimal point, and then dot goes on forever. Or if you wanted to sort of be super duper accurate again, you could just put 10,000, 1 and 4 zeros, pi. Okay, so now a little bit as to why it works. And for that, I'll go to this sort of animation on the internet, which I'll put back together. Ta-da! Okay, so every circle has a radius, that's the R line, and a circumference, which is the length around it. And if you drag that circumference out to the line that's moving the circumference, it goes from around the circle out into a straight line, it gives you 2 lots of pi times r. Okay, so whatever r is, you times it by 2, you times it by pi, and you get the length of that line. If we were to cut this circle into pieces, and we'll cut it into 6 pieces first, and then drag them out over that line, the pieces would go most of the way down the circumference, because this outside of the circle is the circumference, and it would be as tall as most of the radius. Okay, now if we were to match these together like teeth, you get a length of the line that was almost half the circumference and the radius. And if you were to drag this out and cut it into more and more pieces, it would start to look like a rectangle, okay, that we could measure the area of. And just think, the area of that circle will be this side, which we know as R, times this side. Okay, but because this side was made of half of the circumference of the circle, we know that it's going to be half of 2 times pi times R. Okay, and half of 2 is just 1, so we may as well not have done this all together, and we've just got pi times R. And then we can times it by this R over here, which gives us our pi R squared, which was our formula for the area of the circle. Okay, now that's just a little bit of intuition as to why it works. It's a really hard idea to understand, but this formula pi r squared does come from a series of people working very hard to try and find the area of a circle, and they've done really well at it. So essentially, to find the area of a circle, you use the formula pi times r squared, and that'll give you the area. Notice the squared means times by itself, so this is 10 times 10, this is 100 times 100, and just follow through the procedure and you can't go too far wrong. Hopefully that was helpful. If you've got any questions, just ask. Bye guys. Lady Gator.